Hi, my name is Joanna Cameron, and thank you for tuning in. And I'm talking about Drain That Pain. You can see the drain here behind me, right here. That's right, it's a waterfall. And the book is called Drain That Pain and based on a documentary. There are 10 authors, all of whom are healers and do things in different ways, so there are many ways to learn this. And in this book, pain is a message, and drain that pain means simply that we drain it because it's simply stuck energy that doesn't belong anymore, doesn't belong in your body. And even your beliefs may have changed, but still, until you intend for it to go, then it just hangs around. So this is chronic pain, which can be in the form of many different things. Some of the common ones are migraines, allergies, chronic pain, of course, like arthritis, and fibromyalgia, lupus, post-traumatic stress, grief, sadness, chronic regional pain syndrome, really any pain that hangs around, anything, and these could be, chronic diseases of many different kinds. As a mind-body person, it's something happening within the mind that is causing the effect within the body, and frequently that is an outdated belief. And it's based really on the work of Dr. John Sarno, although he used psychotherapy as the healing type function. What we use here is a holistic energy technique. That's it, just allowing the metaphor, the drain, you see here the waterfall, allowing the metaphor to run in your body so that you drain anything that doesn't belong. Based on the work of Dr. John Sarno, who was in charge of surgery, and he worked on the Rusk Institute in New York. And what he noticed was that with many people who had x-rays, there were no MRI at that time, but a bulging disc was not necessarily painful. A person may have a bulging disc and no pain, or it could be even worse, even was called crumbling spine, and yet they didn't have any pain, but there was no correlation between necessarily what he saw physically and how the person felt. And his work has helped us to understand that chronic pain has an emotional component. And if you're nodding right now, that's because you understand that. So that if this is a chance for you as the reader and the listener here, is to understand better. The goals of the book are to educate you about chronic pain, to inspire you to let go of it, and to imagine a future without it. So it's education and inspiration and motivation. And really that's also how the universe happens. If you understand that you are here for a reason, and that you have a purpose in life, and that you do belong, and that most of all, you are good enough. And unfortunately, many people pick up ideas in childhood and conditioning, or their repressed memories. Maybe they've replayed them for many lifetimes, that they are not good enough. And that is a limiting decision of immense proportions. You do belong. You are a spiritual being here, dealing with everyday circumstances, but you're a spiritual soul. And this is about healing body, mind, and soul, and the integration of those, and allowing yourself just to let go of something that doesn't belong. You are enough. It's that simple. You are enough. So if you feel that you're not, and that's the feeling underneath the pain, why don't you let go of it now? So first imagine, why don't you, how you would feel if this was out of your life. What would you be doing? Celebrating what you'd be doing. Some activity that you're not doing now. So imagine that now. At the count of 3, make sure you have a picture of it in your mind with the feeling there. 1, 2, 3. You feel it, don't you? And you imagine it. Save that thought, and we've anchored it there. Snap. That's right. So now that you know what the feeling is, you've imagined that, and now that you understand that chronic pain can indeed be emotional, you might want to ask yourself, what is the emotion underneath the pain. Some people it's underneath the first event when it happened. What is the emotion? What is the emotion underneath that? You getting there? Here's some of them: anger, sadness, grief, most commonly fear, the need to control, the need to judge. All of those things are often to do with ego. And what happens when people get out of pain is that they become just filled with, first of all, love of self and their own awareness opening up, that they want to help others. So that's really how I felt, watching people let go of pain, such a privilege, and the ability to help others. This book has 10 other authors who are going to educate you in so many different ways about everything from havening to chronic regional pain syndrome to Zhineng Qigong, the Chinese form of wisdom Qigong. In other words, how to upgrade yourself spiritually. In other words, maybe there are other dimensions of living where you can rise above such things as pain and fear, and that you can live totally in the moment and be totally aware and open up your own intuition. And that's what happens when people get out of pain. They tell others. It feels so wonderful. And sometimes people get out of pain just talking to me when I say maybe it's because they didn't feel good enough. They were perfectionists and they were never enough. They never felt that they did enough. Or they felt guilty. They picked up other people's feelings. All of these are reasons for chronic pain. So now that you've imagined the future and we've successfully anchored that, I want you just now to think back about the emotion underneath the pain. Was it that you weren't good enough? That you're striving always for perfection? But most of all, what was the story you were telling yourself? Because that's what the pain is. It's not true. So let it go now. And if you knew the origin of it, well, whether it was birth or the womb, or suddenly you feel it's another life, shout out the number right now. Somebody's saying 3, I can hear it. So now go back there and say to yourself, what is it that you needed to learn from that, the learning of which will allow you to let it go? And now just allow it. As you listen to the sound of this waterfall here in Southern California, just allow that. And feel it in your body just like a riverstone fountain as the water trickles over it. Every nerve, muscle, fiber, pore, even the space between the atoms, the quarks. It's healing and cleaning, allowing that to go all the way through your body. That's right. Allow that to happen. Make it to happen. Want it to happen. And in a few seconds, I'm going to count from 1 to 5, and you open up your eyes, and you'll find that you feel absolutely fantastic. 1, coming up. 2, that you learn so much more just by reading my book. 3, and in the back of the book, of course, there are masses of practitioners who can help you all over the world. 4, knowing that you can live without pain, and all chronic pain is just being stuck in the past, and that you're an energetic being, and that you can let go of this. 6, coming up now. 7, feeling great. 8, hearing the waterfall. And 9, getting ready to open your eyes when you feel 10, fantastic. Thank you.